And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Tonight we will be discussing how will this end in regards to the GameStop pump that we witnessed over the past week and in the coming weeks. Because when you look at GameStop, there was a fundamental reason as to why the short squeeze made sense. But now you're starting to see things like Dogecoin and Ripple pump, and there's absolutely no fundamental reason as to why those cryptocurrencies should be pumping. I fully support what I'm witnessing in terms of sticking it to Wall Street and finally getting one back. I agree with that message. I agree with that premise. When you look at GameStop stock, essentially you had hedge funds and institutional investors like Melvin Capital that were short over 140% of the actual float. So therefore, they were being greedy, and the Reddit community was able to capitalize on that. That made 100% sense to me. Even when you look at a Nokia or a BlackBerry, right? That these institutions, they got greedy and you were able to catch them slipping. Great. And you were able to create this short squeeze momentum to the upside. And they're still short over 100% of the float. So I expect that short squeeze to continue there. But again, when I see Dogecoin and Ripple pumping, there's no fundamental reason as to why that coin is pumping or why those coins are pumping. And I said this in my last live stream when when Dogecoin was trading at 6 cents. I said maybe it can touch 7.5, but I wouldn't touch it. Dogecoin is literally a meme coin. It has zero utility. So there's no fundamental reason as to why any intelligent investor or trader would be speculating in that. Because see, understand here, as a trader, you have to understand the advantage as to why you're getting into something. Whether you're trading on technicals, whether you're trading off of fundamentals, and if a pump just randomly happens out of nowhere, chances are you probably missed that pump because you're lacking the information as to why that pump happened. Now follow me here. Right on cue, as I predicted, a pump and dump group popped up for Ripple. And a few of you in the academy, you went and you piled into Dogecoin at 5 and 6 cents because you chased the pump, and then it dumped on you. And right on cue, a Telegram group pops up pumping Ripple. And many of you, especially you Ripple tards, you're somehow championing this as if this is smart, as if this is good. Many of you are going to get caught holding the bag because you're going to pile in at the top and they're going to then dump in on you, just like what happened with Dogecoin. Now, what am I trying to get out of this? I support the idea of if you want to play the volatility for quick trades and you're already positioned yourself, meaning that you were in Dogecoin from 2 cents or 3 cents. You understand the momentum. It's a momentum trade. That makes sense. Even if you want to play in garbage like Ripple, that makes sense from a trade because back in late 2016, 17, up into 2018, I was able to take $10,000 off of a credit card and turn it into well over $250,000 playing with these pump and dumps and crypto. I know all about pump and dump groups and Telegram groups, but trust me when I tell you, they will 2x or 3x or 4x in a day, and then they will dump on you. So if you're not in the group and if you're not in the pump prior to the pump, most likely you will get dumped on because what you have to understand is that crypto is a different beast than stocks. You're competing for block space. So therefore, when you get into certain positions, it's not as easy to get out of crypto as it is to get in and get out of stocks. There is not a lot of liquidity in certain cryptocurrencies. So keep that in mind when you're chasing these pump and dumps. So now we see silver right now. They're talking about pumping silver, right? A silver squeeze. That makes sense from a fundamental standpoint, right? So if I want to trade that or participate in that, that has a fundamental purpose. The same like a GameStop pump. I own a lot of silver, physical silver. I own First Majestic stock. I own various precious metal mining stocks. I own precious metals. But I've already owned them for over years now. I'm not chasing the short squeeze. I'm in the short squeeze. See, intelligent investors, they get involved in something ahead of the herd. And then when things get out of control, you dump on the herd. I am not discouraging what you guys are trying to do. I'm telling you to be involved in things that make sense from a fundamental standpoint and from a technical standpoint. Why would a silver squeeze make sense? Because the banks, for years, they've been manipulating the price of precious metals. Okay, that's a check in your favor. When you look at the gold to silver ratio, that's a check in your favor. The fact that silver is the fastest conductor of electricity in many of your smart devices and self-driving cars and chip manufacturers, they utilize silver. And in most cases, you cannot milk down the technology and get back the silver. That's utility. Those are use cases. That's what you want to be piling into for a short squeeze. You don't pile into garbage like Dogecoin and Ripple, because in the end, the bag will fall. You'll basically be holding the bag in the end. So make sure that when you're getting involved in these various pump and dumps, that you're aware as to what you're trying to do long term. And as I said before in my previous video, you had a lot of finance gurus talking about they went out and purchased puts on GameStop. Well, ask them, how are those puts doing today? Because I told you, when you wake up on Friday, GameStop stock would be pumping from $190. And when we woke up, it was trading at around $400 in pre-market. Yes, it came down, but again, that pump can keep going because the shorts are still, they're heavily shorting that stock. There's a fundamental reason why GameStop can keep pumping. Fundamental reason why. There are no fundamentals in Dogecoin and Ripple, and I want to emphasize that to you. You have to be smart as to what you're doing. You have to be smart and do not fall victim to what's going on with some of this garbage that you're starting to see. So please do me a favor as you come into the live stream. Like this video, share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all. Make sure you also join my mailing list in the description below so that you can be notified via email when I decide to go live. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and you can shoot me a DM and we can begin the dialogue if you have any questions. Also, if you're interested in learning about crypto and learning about blockchain technology, I created my Tech Academy. We have a free 7-day trial. You're more than welcome to come test it out and see if you like it. If you want to talk about business or discuss investing, you can book a consultation with me as well. And we also currently right now, we're running a promotion for the lifetime membership. Simply come to the website and click the top banner. A link will be in the description below as well for the website. And before we get into the stream, the reason why I promote my community so much is that you need to make sure that you are getting involved with communities of people who they actually have experience with this. I've been investing in crypto for over 9 years now. 9 years I have in the game. I've been investing in trading the markets for over a decade now. This isn't new, these pump and dumps that you're seeing right now. And what you have to understand is that there's a lot of bot activity. A lot of the messaging that you're starting to see, it's just bots at the end of the day. It's not really a lot of momentum. So make sure that you're being aware as to what's going on. So if you can see me clearly and hear me clearly, type 1 in the chat and we can get started. Charles Fenton, you can what you have to understand is that this is crypto. And this is why I keep trying to tell a lot of you. You cannot shut down crypto. You cannot stop crypto because it can be everywhere and nowhere. So you can shut down one exchange and there will always be a workaround. This isn't like the stock market because you're dealing with decentralization. There isn't one central point of failure. So when you understand this about the technology, exchanges can pop up left and right. Then you have DEXs, and then there's ways that you can go around with VPNs and wallets like the Atomic Wallet and Exodus to get your crypto. So, or Chainlink for that matter. You cannot ban this technology. You cannot stop it. So although the SEC may try to restrict trading on Coinbase or Binance US, I keep trying to emphasize this to you. This is a technology that you cannot stop. It is decentralization. You cannot stop it because essentially crypto is a language. It's ones and zeros, right? And when you understand that, you can embed crypto transactions in emojis and text messages. There's so many ways that you can transmit a message because effectively that's what a crypto transaction essentially is just a message. So you can get it through KuCoin. There's so many other ways that you can access Ripple. So the fact that it can pump, it can pump because people want to pump it. And there will always be a workaround. But what I want to say to you guys is that you can never go broke taking profit. And I want to emphasize that to you. You can never go broke taking profit. If you're in the money, don't be greedy. Because for a lot of you, you're going to end up holding the bag and losing a lot of money. So I want to cover that because I don't enjoy watching you lose money. And I'm not someone that's going to sit up here and, steer you in the wrong direction. At the end of the day, you have to make the decision that's best for you. But don't follow some of these groups and these bots that you see and where they're telling you, oh, to the moon. No, take profit. So how does this end? Let's have an honest conversation about GameStop. And when I'm talking about, I believe that GameStop can keep pumping because of the short interest. But I just want to cover this because you're not seeing a lot of individuals speak about it from this perspective that eventually the momentum will go away and you may be left holding that bag. So it says, Andrew here, let's have an honest conversation about the mania around GameStop and its larger implications. Is there something fun about watching the little guys beat the big guys at their own game? Sure, and I totally agree. But that assumes that the game is over, and it isn't over yet. The truth is that many of the small investors who look like winners after pushing up shares of GameStop could soon become losers, especially those who jumped into the frenzy in the past day or so. And unlike the wealthy hedge fund managers on the losing side of the trade so far, who probably have more than enough money to cover the mortgages on their second or third homes, if they have mortgages at all, many of these retail investors can't afford to take a big hit. And some of you may be over leveraged and you have too much invested. And I just want to keep that in mind, that you're paying attention to that, because remember this young man right here. And again, I'm not here to make light of this. I'm not here to try to tear you down. I like what you guys are doing with Reddit and sticking it to the man. I'm not here to discourage you. But remember this young man who committed suicide. Keep that in mind. This apparent suicide by a 20-year-old Robinhood trader who saw a negative $730,000 balance prompt the app to make changes. This is old, right? So make sure that you're keeping things in its proper perspective and make sure that you're not risking too much money and you're not over leveraging yourself. Be smart about what you're doing. Be smart about it. If you're in the money, take some profit. Move your stops up. That's intelligent investing. That's smart investing. That's smart trading. So let me make sure I get rid of some of these people here, because look at the chat right now. You have people coming in here and they're talking about, all type of sexual innuendos and commentary. Those are bots, right? So understand this at the end of the day, that they're bots pushing a lot of this. So make sure that you're risking money that you can afford to lose and you're not over leveraging yourself. Keep that in mind when you're investing and you're putting your money out there. There is a risk that this mania has already gone too far. it looks divorced from any sense of reality or fundamental analysis. On a day GameStop more than doubled in price, the broader stock market recorded its biggest decline in months. In truth, saying aloud that some small investors may not fully understand the risks they are taking is an invitation for scorn from an angry mob online. I know because I've been on the receiving end of it. And it is a fair argument. The markets shouldn't just serve professionals and wealthy elites. And for far too long, the markets have been rigged against the little guy. Totally agree with that. When the GameStop music ends, there will be big losses and finger pointing. The speculators rarely blame themselves. Were brokerages too lax in allowing retail investors to trade options using leverage? Should the stock exchanges have jumped in? Where was the SEC? And backers of GameStop may ask why more than 100% of a company's shares could be shorted in the first place. Isn't that manipulation? So there's a lot to unpack there. As I was saying before, there is a fundamental case as to why GameStop stock is pumping. Hedge funds were overly shorted the stock and they got exposed. They were short more than 100% of the company's shares, almost to the tune of 140%. So therefore, shorts have to cover, therefore it creates a short squeeze, pushes the stock higher. It makes sense. Even when you look at it from a fundamental standpoint, GameStop should be trading around $20 to $25 based upon the fact that you have new consoles coming out, and that's going to allow the company to stay open as they make the transition to an e-commerce business and platform, and then understand that they have a unique market, a product market fit with them being able to sell old devices and old consoles and old games. So GameStop isn't going to disappear. Now, in terms of the stock pumping the way that it did, it pumped because of the short interest. And we know right now, and I shared this the other day, the short interest is still above 100%. So we know for a fact that Melvin Capital and these other institutional investors, they didn't fully cover their shorts. Some of them reloaded and added to the shorts. So the short squeeze may continue to go on for a little while longer. I just want you to make sure that you're putting things in proper context as to why these things are pumping. Silver, the silver short squeeze makes sense. The BlackBerry short squeeze makes sense. Dogecoin does not make sense. Ripple doesn't make sense. And many of you will get burned by participating in a lot of this garbage. You have to make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing. And when I saw this the other day, I want to read this because, again, I understand why this is happening. This is for you, Dad. This was shared on a Reddit thread. I remember when the housing collapse sent a torpedo through my family. My father's concrete company collapsed almost overnight. My father lost his home. My uncle lost his home. I remember my brother helping my father count pocket change on the kitchen table. That was all the money he had left in the world. While this was happening in my home, I saw hedge funders literally drinking champagne as they looked down on the Occupy Wall Street protesters. I will never forget that. My father never recovered from that blow. He fell deeper and deeper into alcoholism and exists now as a shell of his former self, waiting for death. This is all the money I have, and I'd rather lose it all than give them what they need to destroy me. Taking money from me won't hurt me because I don't value it at all. I'll burn it all down just to spite them. This is for you, Dad. So again, there's a spectrum here. Some people are just simply saying, I want to see the whole system burn down, which is okay. You're entitled to think that way. Then others are trying to play the volatility and the momentum. And then some of you are just blindly just jumping on board because you don't even know why. It's just pumping. No, as an intelligent investor or trader, you have to know why I'm getting into something and why I want to get out. You have to have a thesis as to what you're doing. If you're a rational investor, if you're doing this for a personal vendetta, all the power to you. I'm not here to stop you. I'm not here to discourage you. I'm speaking to my subscribers who are just trying to make some money, right? If that's what you're trying to do, then be smart as to what you're doing, because a lot of you will get stuck holding this bag or chasing this pump. And that's the reality. Now, Zero Hedge, they shared this and I agree. It says whoever controls the Wall Street Bets hive mind will be the marginal price setter and controls the market. By Monday, it will have 10 million users each with 5K average account and 1.4K, so basically $1,400 stimmy on deck. That's a $64 billion hedge fund with dry powder. So understand, right? The hedge Wall Street Bets is essentially like a hedge fund right now. And they have about $60 billion of, quote unquote, dry powder on average. And I believe this tweet because just the stimulus is coming, or some people already received their stimulus, and people probably can borrow or leverage up or trade on margin in certain instances. So be very careful with just trying to dismiss them, right? And if they're kamikaze and they're crazy and they believe in YOLO and they want their tendies, they can pump these stocks extremely high. That's what I was saying to you. Those finance gurus who were telling you buy some puts, you don't see them tweeting about how much money they're up now. Right? Remember the people who are bragging on Thursday? I told you it was going to $9. You don't see them talking about it now because guess what? Soon as Friday opened up, they pumped it all the way up to $400. So just keep that in mind that with GameStop and BlackBerry and Nokia, you can see those stocks keep pumping, even AMC, because again, there's too much short interest in those particular stocks. Again, Ripple and Dogecoin makes absolutely no sense. And we'll get to that why I feel that way in a second. Right here, you see JB. Thank you for the donation. The issue that my friend was having was he 2x his money in Doge and was able to get out before the dump, but the Atomic wallet has yet to finish exchanging his coins to ETH. It's been 2 days. Yeah, well, see, this is the problem, JB. Number one, the Atomic wallet is not a decentralized exchange. The Atomic wallet is a peer-to-peer marketplace. So therefore, guess what? If there's no peer on the other side to properly clear your trades, then you can't get out. This is what I was trying to say to you. Before you buy things, you need to know why you're getting in and how you are going to get out. Many of you are buying things and you don't know what you're buying, why you're buying it, and how the hell you're going to get out. And again, I'm not attacking you. I'm not trying to talk down to you. What I'm saying to you is that to be an investor or a trader, you have to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. The Atomic wallet is not meant to be used for arbitrage. The Atomic wallet is meant to be used for a wallet, and you can just exchange into other cryptocurrencies if you want to. If you're looking for liquidity, you need to find exchanges like 1inch, which is an aggregator, or looking for a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, where you can see the liquidity. Because see, what a lot of you don't understand, liquidity tells you how much is actually available to trade. If there isn't enough liquidity in particular pools or on exchanges, guess what? You won't be able to get out. You won't be able to get out. See, on Uniswap, this is why they have certain liquidity pools where you can see there's enough liquidity to be able to get in and get out. If you don't know that, and also understand, like I said before, with crypto, you're competing for transactions. Miners are competing for transactions and block space. So if your transaction isn't high enough, the transaction fee isn't high enough, it won't get picked up and put into a block. So you can get stuck waiting 2 or 3 days. But again, you're doing things that you don't know exactly what you're doing. And this is why many of you are getting burned. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're paying attention to this. So again, that happens even with Bitcoin. Remember, every 10 minutes, a new Bitcoin block is formed on average. So if your transaction fee isn't high enough, it will not get added to a block. It could take a week sometimes for a Bitcoin transaction. So understand why you're buying something and how you plan on getting in and getting out. Because if you don't know why, most likely you'll end up getting burned. And you have to keep that in mind. And when you look at the actual Wall Street Bets forum, they have 7.2 million degenerates, and it keeps growing over and over and over every day. So just keep that in mind that this will keep growing. So they can pump GameStop extremely high. So to me, GameStop makes sense in terms of like the pump. BlackBerry would make sense to me. AMC would make sense to me. Dogecoin and Ripple doesn't. I see another donation. Excuse me. Jonathan Clayton says, love your take on things. Just out of curiosity, do you feel as though AMC will reach GME levels, or is GME the only thing that will see reach this level? Well, again, I don't know. I don't necessarily know how much the float, the actual short interest is in AMC. So I couldn't say that, but I believe AMC will continue to pump. I believe that in the short term. How high it will pump, I don't personally know, but I just know that the names that have high short interest, if the Reddit community decides to keep pumping them, they're going to keep pumping because the shorts have not covered. They lied. Melvin Capital and the institutions, they lied on Tuesday and Wednesday when they said they covered their shorts. They didn't. And effectively, what Robinhood was able to do is that by forcing you to sell, it allowed the hedge funds to double up at a higher price and make some profit on the way down, right? Because essentially a hedge fund takes both sides of the trade, or like they'll short one thing and go long something else, right? Creating a hedge. So effectively, I believe that they're on both sides of these trades, both the long and the short, and they believe long-term that GameStop will go down, and I believe that as well. Once this momentum and hype dies down, it will eventually go down. So they're playing both sides. Same thing with AMC. I still believe, like I said, BlackBerry, Nokia, AMC, GameStop, those make sense to me in terms of short squeezes because the short interest is extremely high. And the more that you press the buy button, you're going to squeeze those shorts, and then the shorts have to buy, which creates this feedback loop of making it go higher. So I believe that they can still keep pumping, like I said. Now, will they surpass the highs that they made this week? I don't know. Again, only time will tell, but I believe it can still happen. Phil says AMC short interest is 45%. So what I wanted to get to right here is I want to get to Ripple now, right? Because this is important. Many of you are new, and many of you just don't care. You're YOLO. You're YOLO traders, right? You're degenerates, and I get that. Give me a second. Let me take a sip of water. But this is important right here. I like to use these moments to teach you guys. Asymmetric information. What is asymmetric information? Or you could say asymmetric information. I like to say asymmetric. Asymmetric information, also known as information failure, occurs when one party to an economic transaction possesses greater material knowledge than the other party. This typically manifests when the seller of a good or service possesses greater knowledge than the buyer. And this is what's been happening with Ripple. And this is exactly why I've always been against Ripple. When you look at Ethereum, Ethereum operates independent of Vitalik. Vitalik Buterin is the founder and creator of Ethereum, as well as Gavin Wood and Charles Hoskinson. But there's over 3,000 different applications that have been built on top of Ethereum. They do not coordinate with Vitalik and say, hey, I'm about to launch Aave or Loopring. These projects, they get launched on top of the Ethereum blockchain on their own. There's no coordination whatsoever. There are no gatekeepers. Literally, right now, you and I can build our own dApp on Ethereum. So therefore, the value and utility of an Ethereum is the fact that it's not Vitalik driving the value. It's not Vitalik driving the partnerships. It's not Vitalik building the dApps. It's true decentralization that anyone that wants to build can come into the ecosystem and build. When you look at Ripple, you have to ask yourself a question. What drives utility and value within the quote unquote Ripple ledger or Ripple network? Because please don't tell me this. I know this already. You have Ripple Labs, the company, and then you have Ripple, the cryptocurrency. What I'm saying to you is that how is Ripple getting its value? Most of the development that's happening within the Ripple ecosystem is created by Ripple Labs. It's important that you understand the difference. So therefore, the people from Ripple Labs, Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, and all of the other executives, they have inside information that you don't have because they are the ones brokering the deals. They are the ones creating the products around the ecosystem. This is why so many people in the crypto community never viewed Ripple as a cryptocurrency, because most of the development and most of the actual token is owned by Ripple Labs. So therefore, you have a CEO brokering deals behind the scenes. So he's privileged to information that you don't know about. And then he's colluding based upon the SEC complaint with market makers to then start to pump the actual token, get you to get involved in it, and then they can dump it on top of you. He has sold over 1.7 billion Ripple tokens. If he believed in the project, why would he be selling it? They literally are paying people and institutions to use the token. If the Ripple technology was so great, you would not have to pay people to use it. And then after the partnerships are over, notice that people stop using it. You have to be smart enough to understand what's going on here. It's common sense what's going on here. And we're going to get into the actual documentation. When you look at Ripple, though, just price it in Bitcoin. Look at this chart. If you use Bitcoin as the unit of account and you compare XRP's price to Bitcoin, it's getting destroyed. And now what you have to understand is that right now we're talking about a pump that's happening. There's a pump and dump group pumping this. There's a Telegram group that's pumping this. Same thing with Dogecoin. Dogecoin was created as a joke. Literally. In 2013, they created Dogecoin as a joke. There's no product market fit for Dogecoin. There's no utility for Dogecoin. When you look at Ethereum, there's over $24 billion worth of economic value locked into smart contracts. There's over 3,000 different applications that are being built independent of the Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik. That's important. What's being built on top of Ripple? Right? So be smart here. Now, someone just said, well, if I'm YOLOing, I'm going to YOLO into Ripple. You could YOLO into it. You have a lot of room. Let's look at Ripple as terms of how far it is from its all-time high. Let's pull up the chart. Right? The all-time high in Ripple is just under $3.40. So look at this beautiful chart. You have a lot of room to the upside. If you believe that this is going to go up. If you truly believe that, now what I'm going to tell you, and I could be wrong, I highly doubt it. I've been doing this for a very, very long time, and I've made a lot of money doing this. Over the next year to 2 years, you're going to be subject to headline risk. This week, Ripple's fighting back. It's making a strong case. And you're going to see the media and crypto Twitter and influencers say, see, look, I told you Ripple can win. And then next week, another article is going to come out, or more information is going to come out that they can't win, and then it's going to go down. And you're going to be locked in here, getting bounced back and forth around. Now, if you're a trader, love the volatility. But there's better places to put your money. Because, see, when you look at the Ripple TAR just isn't that bright. Ripple TARs are not that bright. Ripple's trading at 42 cents right now. Over the past year, it's up 80%. Bitcoin's up 263%. Ethereum's up 660%. Polkadot's up 373%. So don't tell me that I'm missing out. I've been in Ethereum since it was $40. I've been on this channel talking about Ethereum since it was trading at 100. I've been talking about Polkadot since it was at 4. Chainlink since it was at 2. So you're happy that you finally got a pump from 17 cents up to 40? That's great. I'm up 15x, 20x in some of my cryptocurrencies. Right? So I'm trying to get you to think a little bit here. There are better places to put your money because there's something known as the opportunity cost on money. And while you were busy piling in the Dogecoin at 6 cents, Dogecoin's now sitting at 2 cents because you chased the pump and then you got dumped on. You chased the pump and you got dumped on. Oh, if you got the Uniswap airdrop, I sold my Uni for ETH. Look what you got, the Uni airdrop. If you've been following me, and again, not financial advice, not saying you have to follow me, right? What do I know? Uni's up 264%. There's so many better places you could put your money. And these are projects that will be here 3 years from now, 5 years from now. Which one makes sense to you? Do I want to play in a pump and dump? Do I want to play in a pump and dump like Ripple? Or do I want to get involved in Polkadot? Cardano. Look at Cardano, up 579 cents. And I saw a donation come through. Let me make sure that I covered it. Sorry about that, Bert. Appreciate the news we can use. If you need an experienced mod to keep the chat free from miscreants, I am available if you need. I am firm but fair. Yeah, I'll definitely take care of that. The chemical shed, I agree with you. This is so volatile, could be 13 cents tomorrow. Absolutely. Just know what you're buying and why you're buying it and why you're getting involved. But what I want to do is, again, just let you know, this is a Ripple pump and dump group, and it says pump and hold XRP February. So again, I'm all for the message and the mission of the Wall Street Bets community. I like what you guys put together, squeezing Wall Street, squeezing the hedge funds. That makes 100% sense to me. The Wall Street isn't shorting Ripple. Wall Street, they're not shorting Ripple. They're not shorting Dogecoin. So why would you buy Dogecoin? Right? That goes against the mission of eating the rich. If you want to eat the rich in AMC, eat the rich in GameStop, eat the rich in BlackBerry, eat the rich in Nokia, eat the rich in Bed Bath & Beyond. You're not eating the rich by buying Ripple. Because let me tell you what the CEO of Ripple allegedly was doing to you. This is important that you understand what the CEO of Ripple was actually doing. If anyone represents the rich and the elite, it's the Ripple CEO. So let's go up to here to page 10, and let's read what the Ripple CEO was actually doing. Right? If you're against the rich, then you need to come read this SEC complaint. And this is knowledge that everyone we've already knew this. It says, let's go to 15, right? I want to make sure that give me 1 second so I can pull up the correct thing. 15, I believe it is. Just wanted to make sure that I'm reading here we go. So right here, 85 within the SEC complaint. And I want to give this to you because if you want to know about the rich and you want to actually stop the rich, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, they literally are the epitome of, greed, allegedly. So on line 85, it says, from 2015 through at least March 2020, while Larson was an affiliate of Ripple as its CEO and later chairman of the board, Larson and his wife sold over 1.7 billion XRP to public investors in the market. Larson and his wife netted $450 million US from those sales. Why is this important? Because you're talking about you want to eat the rich. Last thing you want to be doing is trying to pump Ripple. You're really only benefiting the people at the top. With Ripple, dumped 1.7 billion XRP on you. Him and his wife netted at least $450 million. Again, this is from the SEC's complaint. Now, the SEC, they were able to they have email records, they have bank records, they have phone conversations. So this isn't hearsay from the SEC, right? This isn't hearsay. This is the SEC They have actual documentation to back this up. So I want to be clear with what I'm saying. This is not me saying this. This is the SEC. Now, why is this important? Because if you come down here to 316 in the document, I want to be clear here for you guys so you can understand what you're getting into when you're pumping XRP to the moon. It's not going to go to the moon based upon the market cap and the circulation. So let's go down here, 316. Sure I can find it. So right here, online, right here, 316, it says Garlinghouse himself was a particularly persistent spokesperson for Ripple's efforts to market XRP as an investment from which investors could potentially profit. While he was selling millions of XRP, Garlinghouse frequently told investors that he was invested in XRP and that he was bullish on the investment throughout the offering and as XRP's price fluctuated. He also encouraged investors to be patient and look at the price of XRP on a longer time horizon. Wow. So he believes in XRP from the standpoint of a long time horizon for you, but yet he dumped $1.7 billion on you. Now, I know what some of you are going to say. Well, CEOs do that all the time in the stock market. That's the point. That's what the SEC is alleging, that they're operating and behaving like an actual company controlling assets and dumping it on you like a security. That's the problem. It's not acting as an independent, decentralized entity. As I said to you before, when you look at Ethereum, there's over 3,000 dApps that make up the ecosystem. They're independent of Vitalik, independent of the Ethereum Foundation. Aave is not coordinating with Vitalik in the Ethereum Foundation in order to create their protocol. That's true decentralization. Anyone is open to anyone to build on. So again, this goes back to information asymmetry. They're privy to information that you are not privileged to. So understand what you're buying, why you're buying it, and know what's going on. And again, I would encourage you to go read the SEC complaint if you're talking about buying and holding this long term, because this will take about a year to 2 years to settle or get sorted out. Keep that in mind. Now, what I do believe, I believe in this right here, the silver squeeze. As I said to you before, I'm a big holder of silver. I own a lot of physical silver. We know that JP Morgan has actually been caught, and we're going to get to the article, manipulating the price of silver, rigging the market, shorting more silver than they should be shorting. We know that. I also own gold as well. I own First Majestic. I've been telling you guys about Barrick Gold, Wheaton for well over a year and a half now. I own those stocks. I believe in the precious metals mining stocks. I'm of the mindset that it's better to own the people looking for the gold than actually even own the gold, because those individual assets will outperform even the junior miners for that matter. And if you look at the chart of First Majestic, look, it's ripping higher. We finally broke above this, $14.67 level, and it's ripping to the upside. I've been talking about that for well over, going back before even the pandemic, I was telling you guys about the precious metal mining stocks. But notice I'm already in before the pump, before the squeeze. So now when the stock starts pumping, guess what I can do? I can move my stops up. I can take some profit. I have a profit target. I know why I'm involved. That's what intelligent investors or traders do. So let's read this article right here. It says JP Morgan to pay a $920 million for manipulating precious metals treasury markets. This article is from September 29th, 2020. So this is an old article. This is real. It actually did happen. It says JP Morgan Chase & Company has agreed to pay more than $920 million and admitted to wrongdoing to settle federal U.S. market manipulation probes into its trading of metals futures and treasury securities, the U.S. authorities said on Tuesday. The landmark multi-agency settlement lifts a regulatory shadow that has hung over the bank for several years and marks a signature victory for the government's effort to clamp down on illegal trading in the futures and precious metals markets. JP Morgan will pay $436 million in fines, $311 million in restitution, and more than $170 million in disgorgement, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission said on Tuesday, the biggest ever settlement imposed by the derivatives regulator. Now understand this. This is the problem with the system. They paid $920 million in fines or fees and restitution. I guarantee you they made billions of dollars doing this. This is the problem with the system, that the penalty, the reward far exceeds the penalty. So this is why these institutional investors, they commit the crimes that they commit because they get a slap on the wrist. And most of the time, the shareholders or the insurance company ends up paying the fines for them, right? So it doesn't really come out of, Jamie Dimon's salary or his bonus. Most of the time, it comes at the expense of the shareholders of the stock. So it's clearly problematic when you look at the system. So now, what does this mean? I would want to be involved in this short squeeze. This short squeeze makes sense. Why? Again, I own silver. Silver is the fastest conductor of electricity. All of our smart devices have a little bit of silver in it. All of these self-driving cars, they need to use it. And so it has industrial uses, unlike Ripple and unlike the garbage like Dogecoin. This short squeeze makes sense. So if you're looking at this as an investor or a trader, and you could position yourself in something like this, and again, this is not financial advice. You have to do your own due diligence. This makes sense. This is something that I would want to get involved with. Guess what? I'm already involved in it. So I'm just giving you some information so that you can make an intelligent decision with your investments going forward. I get why you're in GameStop. I get why you're involved in Bed Bath & Beyond. Those things, they make sense. Just don't get caught holding the bag. Don't get caught in the pump and dump. Don't get caught up in the hype and allow people to dump on you, because best believe, just like this started as an organic movement, Wall Street's inside of that Reddit forum. Don't think that Wall Street's not involved in this now. On the long side, there are institutional investors that are trying to pump this up with you, and that's okay. I'm not saying that you need to get out. I'm saying just be smart. So I'm gonna take some questions, see what's going on in the chat. See what's going on here. Voyager is good, but you can only take some of the cryptos off. Listen, again, if you're dealing with an exchange, I personally, for educational purposes only, I deal with decentralized exchanges. Uniswap, SushiSwap, BISC. That's what I want to participate in. Binance, centralized. Coinbase, centralized. The same problem that you're having with Robinhood, the same type of problems can happen with a centralized exchange. The whole purpose of decentralization is to get rid of middlemen, to get rid of intermediaries, to get rid of custodians. Not your keys, not your crypto. If you don't control the private keys, if you can't take custody of your crypto, then it's not yours. Until you have your crypto in a wallet that you can control the keys, whether it's a hardware wallet or whether it's a desktop wallet like Atomic Wallet or Exodus, if you don't have those type of wallets, then you don't own your crypto, in my opinion. Thank you for the donation, Joel Hogan. Do you think the market sell-off is backlash for Wall Street Bets? In your opinion, when do you see a market correction coming? Thanks, Eli. Be back in the academy soon. No problem, Joel. And for those of you, I have my own academy for crypto. We do have a Slack group. Again, a link to get involved in the academy is in the description below. We currently have a free 7-day trial, so you feel free to come test it out and see if you like it, and you're more than welcome to stick around. Let's go back here to the chart. So when do I see a market correction? We know that the Fed, Jerome Powell, will make the money printer go brr. We know that. We have the Democrats in control of everything right now. Joe Biden just said that the $900 billion stimulus was basically a down payment, that he's coming in now talking about 1.9 trillion. So I don't see a major market correction happening, in my personal opinion. I believe the market will sell off. So follow me here, right? Let's be nuanced. I believe the market will sell off. And I believe that the Fed will step in like they did last March and put together lending facilities, buy corporate debt, buy corporate bonds, or even go to negative interest rates if need be to keep the stock market up. So if we have a correction, it will not be a deep extended correction. Maybe for a couple of weeks, the market sells off, balances out like back in March, and then rips right back up higher. They've made it very clear. The Fed's basically said interest rates will be low up until 2023 at 0. So we know the cost of money effectively is 0 for institutional investors and institutional borrowers. So I just don't see in that case, from that standpoint, I just don't see how you can have a deep market correction when the Democrats are literally going to debase the currency and they're going to print trillions of dollars, and you have the Fed backstopping the economy. You have the plunge protection team backstopping the market. So I don't see a deep correction happening at all, in my personal opinion. And if it is, it's going to be very, very short-lived. So prime example, let's pull up a chart and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about so you can get a visual. Let's pull up the S&P 500. And thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Right here. So this was back here in March, right? February to March, we had this deep sell-off right here. So lasted what, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, basically a month, and then boom, market ripped up. I expect the same thing to happen. If we have a correction and we go on the S&P from 37, let's say that we come down here to 3,300, which I don't think would happen, but let's say it happened, I'll be buying the dip because Jerome Powell's making it very, very, very clear that the market's going to pump. So me personally, I'm looking to buy that dip. They made it very clear that they're not letting the market go down. Let's see what's going on here. Our Universal Laughter says, hey, Eli, is ETH creating a system where we can transfer between peers, like how the stock market now works? I'm asking because I don't fully have my head around, etc. So you have the Web 2.0. This is the easiest way that I can put this together for you. The way that the internet works, you have the physical layer. Those are the fiber optic cables all around the world, right? That links the internet together, that connects the internet. And then you have a whole bunch of protocols that talks to each other that allows you to format and structure information and data to send email. You have HTTP that makes up, your web browser, all of the applications, right? Ethereum is trying to create the Web 3.0. But now, rather than tech companies and banks being able to centralize and control the flow of information, to control whether or not you can use it, how you can use it, you have a permissionless, censorship, open protocol like Ethereum, where you can build applications on top of that, where you and I can transact in a peer-to-peer way. And you can also transact in a way that you can't be censored and you can't be told when you can use it and how you can use it. So effectively, Ethereum is a software platform where you can build dApps and you and I can transact in a peer-to-peer way. Now, you have exchanges or brokerage apps like a Robinhood where you can buy stocks. The problem is that you're buying it from a centralized entity. So therefore, Robinhood can say to you, today, you only can sell, you can't buy. They can literally make up the rules as they go because they are a centralized entity. There's a structure to actually who controls and governs what happens in that ecosystem. With Ethereum, you have the base layer protocol, and then you have something like Uniswap. That's a decentralized exchange. No one owns it. No one controls it. It trades 24/7, 365. So literally, you interact directly with the smart contract in a peer-to-peer way. You know the rules. You can't change the code to Uniswap mid-game. This is the power of decentralization. So you have so many different applications. You have decentralized banks being built with Aave on top of Ethereum. You have decentralized exchanges like SushiSwap, Uniswap being built on top of Ethereum. You have NFT markets where you can exchange collector's items with other people. Literally anything you can think about finance-based that lives in a centralized financial ecosystem, the same thing can happen within Ethereum. And the power is that, like I said before, you can transact in a pseudo-anonymous way, and you can transact directly where you can remove middlemen and you can remove third parties and custodians. Because guess what? There is no Vlad for Uniswap. Vlad can't wake up today and say, I'm shutting Uniswap down. Just can't do it. JS Preezy, thank you for the donation. Hi, Elijah. As for Aave and Chainlink, what you think price can reach? What do I think price can reach in a year? As I said to you before, easily a 10x on Chainlink. You know, by far, Chainlink's my favorite cryptocurrency. By far. So Link's trading at $23, easily above $200. I like that's easy. Chainlink is the God protocol. Period. Like, because Chainlink is bigger than cryptocurrency. Chainlink's the bridge between even like centralized companies and, you know, APIs and data and getting into the blockchain. So 100%, like Chainlink by far is going to be a monster, easily over $200. Like if Chainlink's not worth $100 billion and trading over $200 by the end of this year, then we're in a bear market in crypto, in my opinion. Like that's just easy. Aave, same thing. Aave easily can be above $1,000, $1,500. Like it's not even, I wouldn't even blink at that. Easy. Like Aave's because you have to understand, if you're a part of the academy, and I'm covering this in DeFi now in the DeFi course that we have, the fact that I can borrow and lend in a decentralized way is extremely powerful. Like, as I said to you guys earlier before, where's my phone at? In the future, your phone will be a bank. You will not walk into banks and fill out an application to get a loan. You will literally bank from your phone. You already basically bank from your phone, like with Cash App, Zelle, how you can send money back and forth. I can create a loan, I can borrow, and I can lend with the Aave protocol literally right from my computer, and soon you'll be able to do it from your phone. So you have to be smart enough to see the future before it exists. Same thing with Uber. Look what Uber was able to do to the medallion taxi here in New York City. Think about that for a second. Like, technology is extremely disruptive. I tell you guys before, like with this phone, it's said that the iPhone has destroyed 16,000 other device makers. And I'll give you an example. 10 years ago, you would buy a car, and either you would buy a car with a GPS in it, or you would buy a GPS device that you would put in the car. iPhone came out and crushed that business model. That business model doesn't exist anymore. Maybe older people may still buy a GPS, but now you have apps where literally as soon as you connect your phone in your car, you have a GPS. Your phone is a map. Your phone is a bank as far as being able to send money back and forth. Your phone is a camera. In most cases, it's more powerful than some DSLRs. Your phone is a flashlight. Your phone, think about an iPad. What did the iPad and the Kindle e-reader do to the Barnes and Nobles in the bookstore? Right? And Borders. Borders went out of business, right? Technology is deflationary and it's extremely disruptive. So you have to be able to see the technology where it's at today and think about where it will be 3 years from now, 5 years from now. You're literally witnessing why you need an Ethereum, a Polkadot, a Cardano, a Tezos, an Avalanche right now with watching what Robinhood was able to do to its customers. You can't do that in crypto. You can do that with Coinbase. You can do that with Binance, because those are basically like Robinhoods, but for crypto. But when you have Uniswap and SushiSwap, decentralized exchanges, you can't do that. You can't turn the protocol off. It exists. It's out there. So you have to keep that in mind. So with Aave, easily, I look at Aave easily above $1,000. Easily. Like if we have a bull market, now let's take a step back. Let's look at some risks to Aave, right? Because we are dealing with technology. So I want to be clear and be honest with you, right? Let's think about the cons. Let's say that there's some type of a bug, right? Or an exploit that happens with Aave, because we know we're dealing with DeFi and there can be bugs in these protocols. If there's some type of a bug in Aave, then it's going to tank. There's another project right now that's ripping to the upside named Alpha Finance. That could potentially be competition, they're saying, with Aave. I haven't really looked at it, but when I look at Aave, outside of some catastrophic bug, easily above $1,000. Like I wouldn't even think twice about it. And just go back and watch my old videos. I've been telling you about Loopring, Aave, Synthetics. It's another one. Synthetics is a derivatives exchange. Look at Synthetics. It's top 20. It's up over 1,500%. I've been telling you about it since it was back down in the 50s. And I told you, Monero is my favorite cryptocurrency. Monero, in my opinion, is better than Bitcoin. It's too good. And you're probably going to start to see exchanges delist this because it's a privacy coin. And it literally, Monero is what you think Bitcoin is when you buy it. But look at this garbage like EOS. It's not in the top 10 anymore. Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. Garbage. This shouldn't even be in the top 50. Dogecoin has no business in the top 25. Wrapped Bitcoin, yes, it should be there. USDC, these are stable coins. This is a stable coin. And Binance Coin's an exchange coin. That's always going to be there because they have a global footprint. Stellar's garbage. Bitcoin Cash, garbage. Litecoin, garbage. They shouldn't be there. And Ripple's garbage. Maker's a beast. Cormega, it says, what do you think of Maker, and where do you think Uniswap will be by the end of the year? I could see Uniswap being worth about $15 billion. I think that makes sense for Uniswap. I could see Uniswap probably doing a 5x from here, maybe a 3 to 5x. So maybe Uniswap's probably like $60, maybe $65 Uniswap. That's if we get the institutional adoption, which I believe that we're going to get. Maker is the reserve bank of the Ethereum ecosystem, right? So just like we have the Federal Reserve, that's our reserve bank. Maker is the reserve bank that sits on top of the Ethereum protocol, and then DAI is the reserve currency that goes throughout the system. Maker's a beast project. I like Maker. Maker's an absolute monster. Let's go pull up Maker and see where Maker's at. Maker's been trading really well. Look, Maker's up 192%. Maker's easily could be worth $10 billion. Easily. So, say 4,000, 5,000 Maker, easy. Like this is like Maker's easy, Aave's easy, Chainlink's easy, Polkadot's easy, Ethereum is easy, Cardano is easy. Like just looking at them, like it's easy to see where they're going to go. It's easy to see it. Now, what's going to be interesting is to watch the competition with Maker, because although it is a reserve bank, Aave's better in my opinion because you could do flash loans with Aave. So Aave, effectively, you can borrow money from Aave with no collateral, and as long as you pay back the loan within one transaction, you could basically borrow money like a flash loan for arbitrage purposes. That's how you see people like drain liquidity pools for different protocols. So Aave is a little bit better, but I think that Maker just has the fact that it's the reserve bank and it has the DAI stablecoin. So I could see that. But Maker's a solid project. Like Maker's a solid project. Compound's a solid project. Like I said, Aave, I own Cosmos, one of my favorite tokens. Theta's a solid project. Been looking at that a little bit. Tezos, I own a bag of Tezos just because I know people are stupid and they're going to buy it. But there's nothing like unique about Tezos in terms of like a smart contract platform. Like it's just not getting the adoption that it needs to get, that you need. But I just know that people like they're going to pump it. That's just crypto. I like Synthetics. Monero, I like Monero for its utility. I don't think Monero's a good investment. I think Monero is good for privacy, right? If you want privacy and you don't want to be tracked and traced, because everything you do in Bitcoin is tracked. See, what people know, that's one thing that people don't know about Bitcoin. Like if you come to a block explorer, and this is why Bitcoin sucks. I tell people this all the time. Like Bitcoin is good for being a store of value, but like this is a block explorer. If I come in here in this block, I can see everything that this address has been, like I can see this person's balance. So I know how much money this person has sent. I can see all of the transactions that they've been involved in. Let's find a better transaction. So let's go here. Let's see somebody who really sent a large amount of money. Let's go here to who actually has a large amount of Bitcoin in their wallet. These are all small transactions. Here we go. This person has 4 Bitcoin. So look at this. I can see how much, I can see this person's address. I can see how much they received, and I can see the total amount that they sent. And I can see that this person sent 4.2 Bitcoin to these addresses. So Bitcoin is pseudo-anonymous. I don't know who is behind this address, but I know how much money they have. So think about this. If every time you spent money, would you take a picture of your bank account balance and post it on social media? No, you wouldn't. That's effectively what you do every time you spend your Bitcoin or you send your Bitcoin to someone. Like literally, I can see everything that your address has been engaged in. Now follow me here. This is why in its current state, Bitcoin can never be a currency, because if my babysitter, or let's say your landscaper cuts your grass and you pay him Bitcoin, he now knows how much Bitcoin you have. So now you're not anonymous anymore. Like once you spend your Bitcoin, you're not anonymous anymore. If you buy something with your Bitcoin, you're not anonymous anymore, because now I have your address and I can look you up and I can see everything that you've been engaged in. So in terms of privacy, you have no privacy with Bitcoin. And this is why, like, I laugh at people when they think like, oh, you know, Bitcoin's used by, you know, pedophiles and criminals. Not really. Like most criminals use Monero or like Zcash or like a privacy coin. So Monero is what you think you're buying when you buy Bitcoin. So Monero has utility, but I don't think it's a good investment in terms of, I don't think it's going to appreciate a lot, in my opinion. Monero is my favorite cryptocurrency because of the fact that you have an anonymity set that it makes it very hard to figure out which actual transaction belongs to you with Monero. And you have one-time addresses, right? So every time you spend your money, you get a new address with Monero. You don't get that with Bitcoin. Like you just don't. You can use it. You can like create a different address if you want to, like your wallet can do it, but you still can track a person. And you can link, like it's a company called Chainalysis, and they just create a web and they can link all your different addresses. So, and even also like the way that your transaction is broadcasted when you use certain wallets, you can track a person's IP address. So Bitcoin is meant to be digital gold. That's it. And this is why I tell you guys, there's so much more to crypto than Bitcoin. Like you have to, I know a lot of you are like Bitcoin maxis because that's your first introduction. And because you put money into things, you get emotional, but there's so much more to crypto than Bitcoin, like so much more. Now, yes, you could do a coin join, but that's going outside of the protocol, right? You're taking your crypto and you're going outside of the actual protocol. Monero has privacy built into the code, into the protocol. Very, very powerful. I answered your question already, Cormega. Fantasy hustlers. VeChain is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies because it has real world utility. Being able to track supply chains is very, very important. Excuse me. You know, I have a big bag of VeChain. I've been in VeChain for a very, very, very long time. I like to focus on market cap, right? Because market cap is something that you can measure, and then you could just calculate the price from there. Where's VeChain at? It's right down here. Like, I love VeChain. Look at this, up 367%. How long have I been talking about VeChain on this channel? Again, VeChain, easily can see it being worth $10, $15 billion. So just do a 10x, 20 cents, right? I can easily see VeChain being worth 15, 20 cents because it has real world utility and it's a leader in its actual category, right? Because this is what I keep trying to say to you too, is that crypto is bigger than currency. These are protocols. These are technologies. And VeChain is the leader in that space, 100%. So just 10x it. Anything that I like, 10x the market cap. Because I believe, again, I focus on market cap. The total market cap of crypto is $1 trillion. It's a baby, right? The stock market's worth over 100 trillion. The derivatives bubble is worth close to $2 to $4 quadrillion, depending on how you want to calculate it. You don't think that crypto can't get to 10 trillion? Right? So this is why I always put a 10x on things. Now, the 10x is conservative. This is why I keep trying to say to a lot of you, we're going to get insanely rich, because think about this. We just watched them take Dogecoin and pump it to what, the 6th ranked cryptocurrency. So think about the amount of money that's sitting on the sidelines right now. GameStop right now has a market cap of about $24 to $30 billion. This is a failing retailer. So when you hear me say this, don't, oh man, he's just making up numbers. Follow me here, right? Because if you follow what I'm saying, VeChain is worth $1.4 billion. GameStop is worth $24 billion. Do you see how easy it is to 10x something? Like, this can 10x overnight. Dogecoin went up 1,000% in a matter of what, a couple of months? You don't think that VeChain can't get to $10, $15 billion and GameStop is worth 24 to 30? This is easy. This is like shooting fish in a barrel. This is why I keep trying to say to you with crypto, you will get insanely rich by buying solid projects and holding them. Because all of the dumb money is playing around in stocks. All of the dumb money is playing around in real estate. All of the dumb money is sitting in mutual funds and sitting in ETFs. All of that money has to come to us. All we have to do is hold. Dollar cost average, buy a little bit over time, and just sit on it. Stay away from Ripple, stay away from Dogecoin, and you'll get insanely rich. How do you think I can buy a Polkadot or a Chainlink and just watch it pump? It's not because I'm some genius or I have some mystery strategy. I can just look at the market caps and I look at monetary policy. When you have the Fed injecting trillions upon trillions of dollars into the markets, we have interest rates at 0%. People need to make a yield on their investment. They need to make a return. It's going to be harder and harder and harder to make money in the stock market because it's so high. It's worth 100 trillion. So naturally, you're going to see people come into crypto. You're already seeing institutions pour into Bitcoin. At a certain point, you're going to start to see the institutions go from Bitcoin and start going down the list. Look at Grayscale. They're creating all of these different trusts now. A Chainlink trust, a Cardano trust. Just buy your crypto and hold it. And then eventually, we're going to get into bubble territory. So when I do a 10x, I say, all right, 10x. That's conservative. That's just if we keep growing at the rate that we're growing. If we get into bubble territory and we get the Wall Street Bets crowd to start saying, you know what? I don't like playing the stock market no more. I don't like Robinhood and what they can do to us. What do you think is going to happen to these cryptos if after they stop pumping Dogecoin and they say, let's get serious. Let's look at Maker. Let's look at Aave. Let's look at VeChain. Our bags are going to pump. Insane. JS, thank you for the donation. Good evening. Appreciate your knowledge. What do you think synthetic and graph price can reach by the end of the year? You know, Graph Token is one of my favorite projects. I was telling you about, I told you guys about Graph Token ASAP. Just to tell you, so Chainlink is for off-chain data, getting it into the actual blockchain. The Graph Token is for indexing data, right? Because the way a blockchain that basically works is that, for example, you know, if you wanted to get a particular time and date that a transaction happened, in most cases, you would have to go through some third-party service to be able to query that information quick and be able to build an index for your particular project. So the Graph Token basically indexes the data for you, similar to what Google does with data, like how you go to Google and you can look up cats and they can query that data for you immediately and give it to you. That's what the Graph Token is going to be able to do for blockchain data. And the fact that it's going to be interoperable with different blockchains that they're working on, trying to get it to Polkadot as well. Same thing with Chainlink. Chainlink's going to be on Polkadot as well. I like that, the fact that it's going to be on different blockchains and not just on Ethereum. Very, very powerful. The best way I can say it is that think about pushing Command F and being able to search your page, right? So like if I come here right now and I just go Control F and I want to look for CNBC, I'm able to query CNBC and look it up. That's essentially what the graph token allows you to do. It allows you to be able to query information throughout the blockchain and find it. Rather than you having to build all of this data and information for yourself and index it on your own, you can basically be able to query their protocol that they have and with connecting APIs. Very, very powerful. Now, in terms of price, where it can go, and if you notice, there's a theme to my investing. It's the same thing even when I buy gold and silver. I don't want to own a lot of this, even though I have a lot of it, but based upon proportion, I own more of the actual stocks than I actually own the physical precious metals. And the reason why is because if you look at the gold rush, the people who tend to make more money are the people actually selling the picks and shovels for you to go look for the gold, right? So I believe that the precious metal mining stocks, they're going to give me a far higher return on my investment than actually owning the physical silver, right? Follow me here. So when I look at the graph token, I believe that the graph token can do more than a 10x. But if you just 10x it, you're talking about $6. It's at 61 cents. I told you, if you're in the academy, I gave you the list, the targets as to what my kill zone was. I'm not going to share that with you guys here, but I have a document in the academy where I tell you like where I'm looking to buy and accumulate, and I'm deep in the money. So easy 10x. Any project I like, just 10x it, multiply it times 10. Right? That's all. That's very, very simple. So easy. Again, if we have the bull market that we're having right now, I could easily see this project anywhere from, like I said, $6 is times 10, right? So $5 to $6 easily. Verge is trash. 1 inch is great. I have a video where I covered how you could get the 1 inch airdrop if you used it. 1 inch is a phenomenal project because you can get cheaper fees using 1 inch than even using Uniswap because it can aggregate the best price from different exchanges. SushiSwap is better for liquidity mining. Jordy Belfort, come over to the academy. I'll put the link for you. Come join the academy. I cover that in the academy of how to get your crypto off Coinbase and store it properly and safely. I just posted that in the chat. In terms of wallets for crypto, so there's a spectrum, and I love to share this with people. This is not for everyone. You have to be responsible when using this. This is for people that actually, you're a little tech savvy. You understand how to back up your mnemonic phrase, your mnemonic seed, your 24 words. You know how to store them properly. This is a ledger. This is a hardware wallet. This allows you basically to have cold storage, meaning that your private keys are not connected to the internet. Powerful here. But this is complicated to use for the average person. I do not recommend this for a newbie because if you lose those 24 words, effectively, you lose your crypto if you can't get into this device. If you forget your PIN, you're in trouble to get into this device if you don't have the 24 words. So if you're not responsible, if you're not tech savvy, this isn't for you. This is known as a Ledger Nano X. So then you have desktop wallets. You have a desktop wallet like Exodus, Atomic Wallet. Those are much simpler and easier to use for the average everyday person. So I would recommend that you use the Atomic Wallet or the Exodus Wallet if you're new to the whole idea of being your own bank, taking custody of your assets. And then you have people who are like, listen, I barely can keep up with my passwords to my social media accounts. I'm just going to leave my crypto sitting on an exchange. And that's okay too. Just understand that there's counterparty risk at that point. If that exchange gets hacked, if the government wants to come in and seize crypto, there's nothing you can do about it. So there's a spectrum. You have to figure out where on that spectrum do you fit in at. Someone like myself, I lost an insane amount of Bitcoin on Mt. Gox. I should be worth well over $20 million, right? Today, I lost an insane amount of money with Mt. Gox, right? And I'm exaggerating, I say $20 million, but it's a lot of money. Because they were hacked, they went bankrupt, and they basically took everyone's Bitcoin. So just be responsible with what you're doing and figure out what works best for you. I always tell people, start with buying your first $100 worth of crypto. Get used to being able to send it back and forth to yourself, to other wallets. And then if you really, once you get comfortable, then you can ramp it up and really start getting, you know, $10, $15, $20, $30,000. All right. But if you're tech savvy, then you could go that route, right? So MetaMask is a good wallet too in terms of, well, you need to use MetaMask to access the most dApps, right? You can use this if you want to, your Ledger and a few other ones, but in my opinion, MetaMask is the best way to interact with any Web3 application, any dApp. So, and it just makes more sense to use your MetaMask wallet, much easier. Sean Snowden, the videos there, you can learn at your own pace. So I recommend you start with the Bitcoin course we have, then get to Ethereum, and then we have a coding bootcamp going on as well. I'm in the process of redoing it, but we have the old version in there. And the whole purpose of the coding bootcamp is eventually we want to get to the point where we're building dApps with Solidity. Solidity is the programming language for Ethereum because, as I said before, most of you who are looking to make money, you're probably going to make more money working in this industry or being an entrepreneur and building your own cryptocurrency assets, bridges, protocols, etc. So that's where we plan on getting to eventually once more of you pick up the HTML, JavaScript, CSS, because a dApp is a front end and connecting to a back end, which is to the blockchain. But it's learn at your own pace. The videos are pre-recorded. We have our Slack group. You have any questions, any concerns, you come into the Slack group and you post your questions. My 1-inch tokens are now worth 3 stacks. Congrats, Jay Gustavo. I just personally like Ethereum better. That's why I sell all of my uni tokens, all of my 1-inch tokens for ETH immediately, because I just understand that Ethereum is going, if Ethereum can pull off ETH 2.0 with a minimum amount of hiccups, you know, ETH's going to be a monster. Because Ethereum has so much of the ecosystem already for DeFi and decentralized finance, and it's getting mainstream adoption. Of course, Antonio NYC, your cryptocurrency is still gaining in value if you take it off exchange. Yes, it still goes up in value. Check collector, send me an email, because what happened, this is what's been happening, check collector, and I want to share this with you. A lot of trolls from the XRP community, or just people in general, they take advantage of the free trial that I have. So they'll sign up multiple times, right? Or what happens is they'll have the Slack email inside of the their email, and even though I kick them out, they'll come back in. So you may have been kicked out by mistake because I have a bot that automatically just sweeps through the academy and kicks people out. So if they see like a duplicate email or duplicate IP address, you probably got kicked out by mistake. So just send me an email so that I can make sure that you are part of the academy, and I'll add you back into the Slack group. But like, I have a bot that literally just combs through and kicks out the trolls, or kicks out people who are trying to sign up multiple times, because people, they like to steal, you know. So, and again, if you're in the academy, you know, I take my time with this information, putting stuff together so that you guys can have actionable information. So I don't like when people try to steal from me. So The Straight High says, I've more than doubled just listening to this man in the last 2 months in crypto, and I'll be a lifetime member of this academy because of it. No problem. The Straight High. Thank you. I appreciate it. Soul Shader Draws says, man, looks like I got a lot of homework to do on this crypto stuff. Yeah. If you want to be knowledgeable about it, just put the work in. Put the work. I promise you that, for example, I have some students in the academy who they took the information that I gave them, right? They're taking the information that I've given them, and they went out and got involved in API 3. I saw some people talking about this project right here, right? Past 3 months, pumped all the way from $2 and change up to almost $6. Some people were talking about this new project, Alpha Finance. That's how I first heard about it. Right here, this is another project. Once you learn how to fish, people are talking about Polka Starter. Like, you don't have to buy everything that I own, right? You know how to look for good projects now. A Polka Starter pumped, went from 8 cents, 81 cents, all the way up to $1.60. Went from 27 a few months ago, 27 all the way up to $1.50. So you don't have to just buy the stuff that I'm talking about. Like, there's solid projects all over the place happening. And as I said before, we're so early. The average person has no idea about this. This is why all you have to do is find you 3 or 5 solid projects that you understand, that is real world utility, buy some, dollar cost average, and hold it. Make up a portfolio, balance the portfolio, structure it where maybe you want to go 30% Bitcoin, 30% ETH, 40% in the rest of the other coins, right? Me personally, I'm more overweight Polkadot and Chainlink and ETH right now than anything, because I just believe in those projects, and I've made so much money in the appreciation of those projects. Especially ETH. Let's go a little higher, see what's going on here. Money Cooking Recipes. I'm sorry I missed your donation. How much do we need to invest in a solid crypto to be a millionaire in the next 5 years conservatively? Again, I can only speak from like an education perspective, right? I have to say that to protect myself. I would honestly say that let's look at this, so we can put this in the proper context. Let's look at Chainlink, because I personally believe, in order to really like turn 10 grand or 15 grand into like $1 million, you have to catch one of these projects at its like early stages. Like, look at Chainlink. Let's say its low was 18 cents. Back here, this when it based from what's this, January 2018 up into 2019. So you could have realistically got involved in this project at like 20 cents. You know, that's, what's that, times 10 it's 1,000x, right? So you put 10 grand into Chainlink at 20 cents, it's possible, right? You put 5 grand into Chainlink at 20 cents, is possible, because look how much higher it can go. We're talking about $200 Chainlink. Right? That's 100x, I mean. So it's already up 100x. So it could, listen, it could pump. Right? It's 100x. You get to 200, we're talking about 1,000x. 1,000 times on your money. So it all depends on, what I'm trying to say here is, it depends on where you buy it, what price you buy it, how long you're holding it. So if you're looking to put anything less than 10, 15,000 into crypto, and you're trying to turn it into, millions of dollars, then I would honestly say that you need to be looking at protocols like not in the same category as Chainlink, but that are undervalued right now that could potentially become worth a lot of money in the future, right? And you got to catch it when it's less than, $200 million, $100 million. If you really want to do 100x or 1,000x on your money. So you need to start focusing on, if I was right now, again, for education purposes only, if I was looking to invest $10,000 or $15,000 and I was trying to maximize it, I would be looking for projects being built on Polkadot and on Cardano. So new projects coming up, I would be looking to put my money into new projects that are being built on Polkadot and on the Cardano ecosystem, because they're getting adoption in terms of the crypto community, although it's nowhere near ETH, but it's untapped potential because there aren't a lot of people involved in it. So therefore you can get in at a very, very low price, low market cap, and potentially make a lot of money. That would be my investment strategy. Now, again, there's a lot of risk there, right? Let's talk about risk versus reward. There's a possibility that Cardano never takes off in terms of an ecosystem like DeFi. It's possible that Polkadot never takes off and Ethereum just decimates and dominates the entire smart contract platform. So those are the risk to reward ratios. But if you really want to turn 10 grand or 15 grand into close to $1 million, you're going to have to get these things early. When I say early, I mean like early before anyone else know about it or aware about it. That's just the reality. Hope that answers your question. And sorry for getting to your question so late. Apologize. Mm-mm. Boom, 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 boom. So money cooking recipes. If you're still here, I'll answer another question because I got to your question so late. So I'll answer your question. Another big project that's getting ready to launch too is I'll give you guys a hint right now. PowerSwap. Not PowerSwap, PowerLink, I mean. This is a big project that's going to be on Polkadot. So giving you guys a little tip here. This is going to be a powerful project. Keep an eye on it. It's not available yet. Yeah. Okay. So I'll take a few more. We got 132. My email is right here in the description. You should be able to email me from what's the name? The welcome email. But I'll give it to you right now. You can message me directly in the you can submit a question. Resources. Leave. How do you get to the questions? Right here, about us. Wait, where is the questionnaire at? I think I took it down. No, right here. I didn't take it down. It's on the home page. You could contact me right here on the home page if you ever have a problem. Or I'm going to post the email right here in the chat in a second. So Oh, looks like I removed the email from there too. Sorry about that. I'll post it right here. Yeah, PowerLink's going to be a big project. Big project. I like that project. Again, not financial advice. Info at mytech. I swear the screen is so small. Info at mytechacademy.io. It's my email right there. And again, you should be able to contact me as well throughout the actual website. Once you log into your account, go to your avatar. You should be able to contact me as well there, from there as well. But there's the email JS. Okay, I'll take care of you, collector. Of course. With PayPal getting involved now, of course you'll be able to use your crypto at various different merchants. They even have crypto debit cards and stuff now, so you can spend your crypto with various different crypto debit card programs that they have. I personally don't use any of those programs, but they have like protocols that give you debit cards now, so you can use your crypto now with your debit card. Jordy Belfort, yeah, we'll just discount whatever the difference is, right? So if you paid $100, then we'll discount the membership. Like if you paid the $100, then we just discount it and make it $1,900. I'll just refund you back the $100. Some people had to break up their payments and do it in 2 payments. So like some people, they use like 2 different credit cards to do it. I'll work with you with that as well. Like I'm flexible in terms of being able to help you get through it. Again, being a lifetime member is a no-brainer because again, you have access to me in the academy for life. And I plan on being involved in crypto for a very, very long time. Like that's what I try to say to people. Like I have some people, I don't want to make any income claims because I don't want to put that out there. I have people who literally within the first month with the Uniswap airdrop, they made back their lifetime membership. Like think about it. You broke even between 1inch and Uniswap. You've more than broke even or made money on a lifetime membership. You're already profitable, right? And you don't have to pay anymore. So you're literally a lifetime member. So, I mean, I think that, I would want to partner up with me for a person who's going to be involved in this space for a long time, right? Like you don't have to pay for anything else. There will be multiple courses and projects and things that we're going to be working on going into the future. Like I'm in the process. Wait till you see the new web development course that I'm putting together where I'm redoing everything in the JavaScript bootcamp, and I'm creating a web development bootcamp where we're going to focus on the basics to what is the internet? What are the applications on top of the internet? How does your web browser work? How do you actually do a GET request to a server, get a response back? Getting into the web development tools. I'm literally going to cover every little thing because some of you were complaining that I went too fast in the JavaScript bootcamp. So I'm going to go back over it and I'm going to cover everything from, H1, a H2, a H3, a H4, H5, H6 tag. I'm going to cover a paragraph tag, an embedded tag, CSS rules, values, properties. I'm going to go into every little thing. What is a class? What is an ID? I'm going to cover you want the basics? You want me to cover all of the simple stuff? I'm going to cover everything that you could think about almost. So, and then do the HTML, then we get into CSS, then we get to the JavaScript stuff, and then eventually we can get to React. Right? Because a lot of you were complaining that, listen, it's too fast for me. So don't worry. One thing about me, I listen to my students. I'm not a person who, I'm very self-aware, right? So if a lot of you are having a problem with something and I'm not doing something right, I go back to the drawing board and I fix it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix it. The lifetime membership's on the front page, Mark B, right at the top. It's a blue banner. Thank you, George. Appreciate the donation. One-time fee. One-time fee. Soul Shade. Yes, if this is your first time getting started, I recommend you start with the Coinbase or Binance if it's your first time. Keep it simple. As you get more experience, then you can get involved in decentralized exchanges like BISC and Uniswap and SushiSwap and stuff like that. But when you first get started, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate yourself. There's a learning curve. Don't jump. That's what happens to a lot of people. You know, you're, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying people in general. They get so desperate or so excited, and they just jump right in, and then you make mistakes, and you forget your private key, or you send your crypto to the wrong address. Take it slow. Dollar cost average. Trust me, the market will crash. You'll be able to get in. The market will move sideways. You will be able to get in. Do not be like the people who bought Dogecoin at 6 cents and now it's at 2. Same thing, Ripple. Look, it's at 40 cents now. Be smart, right? Take your time. This market will be here. This technology will power the 4th industrial revolution. I am very confident about that. The future will either be centralized or decentralized. And we're already seeing centralization fail right before our very eyes. So we know that we need this technology. Not saying it's perfect. Not saying that it doesn't have any problems. We're looking at the internet back in 1992, 1995. It's a blank canvas. There will be different iterations and learning curves that you will have to go through. You're very early. When you're early, there's a high amount of risk and a high amount of opportunity in the space. Just keep things into its proper perspective and never invest, more than you can afford to lose. With that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. We've been going now for an hour and 40 minutes. I like to keep these streams in that range so that you guys can watch it and digest this. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll be releasing some new content in the DeFi course, right? So hopefully you guys catch up. We covered, some things in the DeFi course. I'm going to be adding some new content in the coming days, and we'll keep every week building on different DeFi strategies of how you can earn passive income, active income, liquidity mining, yield farming, etc. We'll keep building up from there. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please do me a favor and like this video, share this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all so that you receive all notifications from me. Join my mailing list in the description below. Also, follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM. If you're interested in learning about crypto, I created My Tech Academy. You're more than welcome to come try it out, test it out. We have a free 7-day trial, cover almost everything you need to learn as far as the basics is concerned in learning crypto. So, my mouth getting a little bit dry. Been talking for a while. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed and beautiful night. And please do not get caught up in these pump and dumps.